Okay, Nubeqa and golf. I did take one, but it was too long for this channel. I don't have enough videos on this channel to make um a, a video longer than like 15 minutes, so I have to keep it short. So today I went out to Flushing Meadows pitch and putt. Flushing Meadows pitch and putt is right next to City Field, and I chose the wrong time to go out there, literally and figuratively, because um, I got out there 5 minutes after the first pitch, and that meant that I was generally going to finish after my warm up and everything. Um, After the game was over, and there was a crowd, so it took me a long time. I'm just getting home 7 hours after I left. Now I took the subway, but it's in the subway. It's an hour 15 minutes each way, all right. But I didn't want to fight the crowd, so I waited like an hour. There was a guy who was waiting for the crowd to thin out, and we got to talking, and he gave me a beer, and well, it took me a lot longer to get home than that was like at 4:30, and I didn't leave him until like quarter to six. So I got home, a lot bit later than I should have. Maybe I should have been home 5:30, but I got out there today, and there was a. I let somebody play ahead of me. A couple people play ahead of me. Then the guy behind me wanted to play with me. And generally, I play by myself, but I have a tournament coming up on the 11th if I have the energy. And I said, okay, it'll be good for me to play with him to get used to playing with somebody. So I played with him, and it went well for the first for the front nine. I parred the first hole, I bogeyed the second hole, I parred the next two holes, and somewhere along the line I got a birdie, but on the back nine he was just moving too fast. I started to get tired, and I played lousy. After that, I got maybe one or two pars in the back with a bunch of bogeys, and it wasn't until like the 16th hole that I realized that he was tiring me out and talking me too much, and that was my game. But I learned. I also took out my 9 iron instead of my pitching wedge because when I hit my pitching wedge, I wound up short of the green. Now I used the 9 iron today. I topped. Well, I didn't. I topped my first ball, and when I don't hit a good ball, a really decent ball. I hit a lot of bad balls today, but on the longer holes, this is 80 holes. I don't hit a decent ball. I tee up another one, and the second ball I hit landed on the green. So it was like Kurt said, if you play against somebody and he hits the green with a 9 iron, and you come up short, it just means that you need a 7 iron, and that's what you play. You don't worry about what club he uses or what club you use. You play to your strengths. And I had a pitching wedge. It came short. I ditched it for um, uh, my 9 iron today, and I made the green both times. So that club stays in my bag. I carry five. I'm not a strong guy, so I carry today. I carried a 9 iron, a 56, a 60, and a 64, and a putter. Now I use the 56 for the shorter holes. Longer shorter holes. The 65-yard hole I used the 56 for, and even though I topped it, I ran over on the fourth green, and I managed to get a par on that. It was hot. I was hot, but after a while, the magic wore off, and I can't quite remember I remember I went over on the fifth green, and that was, I feel like that was a 5. And I feel like the sixth green, I also topped it, but it stopped. It stopped short of going off the green, and I lined up for a pretty decent putt. That could have been a 3 or 4. The seventh hole, where I went, I went over on my first shot. Then I went downhill. Those downhill putts, they were killing me today. You have to know, that's another thing. You have to know the green speed. If you don't know your green speed, oh, it makes it for a long day. I told this guy this, and I missed a bunch of putts. I said line is less important than green speed. I missed maybe 4 or 5 putts by this much. This width. It went past them by that much. Maybe less. Maybe this much. And I left myself with 2 or 3 putts. Well, actually, yeah, 3 and 4 putts after that, because they were long. They were downhill. Well, 13 was disastrous. I had a 7. He said there's only 6s on this course. We said we stop at 6. I don't stop at 6. I stop at whatever I got. And that was, it could have been an 8, but we'll stop at 7. Now, the hole after that, I did pretty well. I might have gotten a birdie on, somewhere along the line I got a birdie, right? I don't remember exactly where, because once you start screwing up, I lost my card. It's so annoying. I probably took my stuff in and out of my bag and dropped my card. That's the worst. So, yeah, you have to pay attention to the green speed. That is really, really the most important thing you can do, because that's what's gonna make your putting is gonna be your game. The short game. That's why I love pitch and putt, because if you can hit a ball straight, this is what the guy was saying. I was topping balls. When you top the ball, you don't go off to the side because you went straight over the top. And whether it's with a driver or with an iron, you go straight over the top. Today I went so much over the top that it only went like 20 yards, but it was dead in front of me. Dead straight. When you top a ball, it's going to go dead straight. It's not going to go to the left or right. So if you can keep the ball on the fairway, now I don't have I don't have any rough. I just have bad spots on the course. It's just a little pitch and putt. But if you can keep your ball on the fairway, that's half the thing. I don't care if you're hitting a 7 iron, a 5 iron, 3 iron. I watched the guy play. He played like a 2 iron, and they're not many. He was a young golfer. He played a 2 iron instead of his driver, and it was about the same. He was going left. He wasn't hitting the fairway. Whatever you can do to keep on the fairway and keep in play, that's the most important. Because when you get in bad spots, that's when things go haywire. And another process I told the guy about that he was accelerating me was when you got a shot that you don't like, you're not satisfied. Even when you are, you have to maintain your pace. And when you have a bad shot, you don't rush. You decelerate, contemplate, relax. Once you've made your plan, you've contemplated it, you feel relaxed, and then you execute. That's it. Now, the guy I played with today, his name was Mark. He said, you have to add one step in there is pray. I complain. I say praying is with the contemplation. All right, that's it. Everybody, take care. Play more golf.